Pour un jeune de cet âge-là, avoir une capacité aussi importante au niveau du football, je me suis dit tout de suite que le petit, il avait quelque chose que les autres n'avaient pas.
Up onto his feet as Iliman Ndiaye announces himself in the championship.
Je dis, on se regarde dans les yeux et je lui dis, t'es qui toi? Iliman Ndiaye. Alors ton nom, il faut qu'il soit au plus haut niveau de football qui est.
He hasn't had it easy. He's not been one of these players that have been signed by an academy. He's took a totally different journey for that.
I remember everywhere in the local newspapers, on local TV, in l'Équipe newspaper, it was like, the prodigy is coming home. The dream was finally there. It was that big. And then you failed and you flopped.
It was just the beginning of something, you know. From all the hard work, from what I've gone through, you know, from my young age to get to this point.
Look at his delight. Feel the joy around Goodison Park.
His journey is unorthodox compared to most. His story is really unique, but it's one of someone who's really determined to achieve.
I grew up in France. It's called La Grand-Mare, it's Rouen, north of France.
Qui, en effet, est appelé quartier dit politique de la ville. C'est une catégorisation pour dire que c'est un quartier, entre guillemets, difficile. Moi, je dirais plutôt un quartier où il y a pas mal de difficultés sociales qui sont regroupées, mais c'est aussi un quartier voilà, qui est hyper vivant, hyper dynamique.
It was not the most rough, obviously, but everybody helps each other. There's that feeling of solidarity, of unity. We're all in this together. Everybody coming from different part of the world, really, but all mixing up in this council estate and this area.
Oui, bah, ils habitaient dans les tours du stade, disons. Mais c'était, je ne sais plus quelle tour, mais c'était les tours qui étaient là-bas, les tours, voilà, ces tours-là. 2 appartements sur le quartier, mais c'était toujours assez proche et ils s'entraînaient sur le terrain stabilisé qu'il y avait à l'époque. On n'avait pas encore les beaux terrains synthétiques, c'était encore les terrains rouges, les terrains stabilisés.
Plus vite, pousse, passe ton pied.
Déjà, dehors, jouer tout seul avec son papa avant de commencer à s'inscrire dans un club de foot. Et c'est comme ça que nous, il est arrivé chez nous. On a vu qu'il avait du potentiel et son papa donc l'a inscrit au club de foot du quartier. Et...
From the moment I touched the football, this is all I wanted to do. So even when I was young, like that's all I had in my mind.
Forcément, la première porte d'entrée pour un jeune qui habite dans le quartier, c'est le Rouen Football Club. Et donc ça s'est fait naturellement. Il était très précoce, Iliman. Il jouait avec des gens qui étaient plus grands que lui, etc. Et pourtant, il était au-dessus. Et donc voilà, ça s'est fait naturellement. Il fréquentait les terrains du Rouen Football Club, même sur les temps où il s'entraînait lui-même, tout seul avec son père, etc.
Va s'améliorer, il est déjà arrivé avec d'énormes qualités. Après, c'était vraiment son volume, il n'était jamais fatigué. Et du coup, ce qui lui permettait de réussir ses dribbles à haute intensité tout le temps. Et de la première à la dernière minute du match, quand les autres enfants pouvaient commencer à fatiguer, lui, il était encore en pleine forme.
Je pense que c'était inné et il l'a toujours gardé. Et il avait déjà un toucher de balle, il avait déjà une technique, parce qu'il s'entraînait beaucoup à l'extérieur aussi, au quotidien avec son papa. Donc ça lui a permis en fait de développer des aptitudes que d'autres enfants n'avaient pas.
Et son père, il l'encourage avec nous. Il nous suit partout, il est là, qu'il pleuve, qu'il monte, qu'il neige. Il est toujours là. Donc le plus grand support d'Iliman, bien sûr.
Everything I know is through him. He's taught me everything. He's been with me from the beginning till now. Yeah, he's been amazing in everything he's done. Not just to me as well, to my whole family, my sisters.
Yeah, Abdullah was a choreographer, he's a dancing choreographer. He was also a cartoonist, very, very creative guy, very smart guy. So there was a lot of influences everywhere. Dancing was one of them for Iliman as well. Like, I think his dad very quickly realized that to be a very good dribbler, you need a quick feet.
With his dancing, his choreographing, he added it into my, obviously the way I do like step overs and things like that. Like he used to tell me like when you do a step overs, your body needs to go like this and things like that. So yeah, I used it and I think used it quite well.
Il était largement au-dessus. Il était, enfin, techniquement, c'était assez exceptionnel. Mais encore une fois, on voit encore les vidéos et moi je les ai revues encore il n'y a pas longtemps. Et là, on se dit, ah oui, c'était vraiment fou. Et techniquement, on était quand même à l'ère aussi du freestyle. Il était au-dessus sur cette dynamique-là.
C'est-à-dire au niveau physique, au niveau technique. Il avait une aisance avec le ballon à son âge qui était vraiment élevé. Et surtout un mental, le petit, dès son plus jeune âge, on sentait qu'il était préparé à devenir professionnel.
Football, pour lui, c'est de l'amour et aussi se personnaliser, de leur dire « Je suis Iliman Ndiaye ». Et ça, je lui avais dit dans les vestiaires, il avait 7 ans. J'ai dit, on se regarde dans les yeux et je lui ai dit « T'es qui, toi ?» Iliman Ndiaye. Alors ton nom, il faut qu'il soit au plus haut niveau de football qui est.
Sometimes it could be very difficult when you grow up in a family with two different cultures. And for him, he was very much the French culture and the Senegalese African culture. And they would not go on holidays to Senegal every year. So I think when the opportunity came that he could go and live in Dakar in Senegal with his aunt for a year, and learn something different and see the life in a very different eye and experience something very different. I think his dad especially would push very much for that change.
I wanted to go and see my family in Senegal. I've never been to, obviously, except when I was 1 year old. But I need to see my family, you know, who my cousin, aunties and, you know, grandparents are, which was, I think, was a big step. You know, you need to know about your family. It's important. And obviously I knew wherever I go, I'm still going to be playing football.
Il a fait une bonne formation, il a pris une autre. Il avait cette culture à la maison par son père, mais il a vu autre chose où c'est un football avec des blessures par rapport à la vie, par rapport à la pauvreté. Le Sénégal, ce n'est pas la France. Et il a appris.
I think he realized that there was something there for him to learn and to be better for. And you know, going through a year in Senegal, it's a very different style of football. You play barefoot in the street somewhere, you join a club where things are far more physical than anything that you've known before. So it was very beneficial for him, I think, to go there. As much as it took him away from French football and another academy and realizing his dream, I think he probably came back then to Europe a better person and a better player, even at such a young age.
Once I was in Senegal, my dad was in France and he came to England for work. So from Senegal, like, I just came to my dad to join him in England, really. You know, we've been through everything from when I was young. So I think it was only right that, you know, we stick together, you know, to go and find the next step in my, you know, football journey. Obviously, when I first come to England, when I joined my dad, I think it was like a week later, I went on a football camp in Manchester United. And obviously it was difficult that I didn't speak any language, any English.
I think he struggled at times to understand why he was not picked up by an academy. Even when Southampton came knocking, it was only the development centre in London, so you were not actually going to the proper academy in Southampton, like a Gareth Bale or Theo Walcott or those kind of famous player that they had at the academy. It was only the development center there. And yeah, if we were good enough and showing how good you could be, there was a pathway for you potentially towards the academy. But for him, that never happened. Neither he did at Chelsea or neither he did at Spurs or the others where he trials. And that could be really heartbreaking because you think, okay, maybe I'm not good enough. And that's not easy because a lot of kids, I think, would have given up by that time, and he never did.
We got a call around October time to say there's a group of boys on another programme that's not going to run. Would we be able to take the boys because they've been left without education? There was about 16 boys, and Iliman was one of the 16 boys on there. I remember his first session out there. He just trained because we had an elite group, and then we had like a normal training group, and he obviously just went in and joined with a normal training group. Someone tapped me straight away and said, "Have you seen this kid?" He's one of the rare players that he had both sides, so he could do the keep-ups, he could do the technical side, but you could see from his upbringing and where he's come from in terms of his family background that he was tenacious and he was fiery, and he had everything that you'd thought straight away that you needed.
That kind of luck that they had with Boromir, I think is probably the luck they were hoping for and looking for, and have been looking for all those years where they never really had that much luck. So he just had to take his chance now. And again, that was not a given, but at least he had the opportunity and the platform. I think it's not unusual, especially nowadays. Maybe it probably was more 10 years ago, but nowadays where even if you have a grassroots team, even if you play first team football somewhere, there's always things you can develop outside of that program.
I know he was going to run Haringey, he was going anywhere he could play, so with us he was getting that Monday to Friday football, and I know Rising Baller suited him because it was particular to his sort of skill set.
Rising Ballers, who are one of the best kind of, I don't know if you can call them private academies, but in the sense that they work like an academy, they just don't have a first team, like first team academy, a normal club if you want. But you work a lot on your skills.
I think they helped him as well because that was playing men's football. He got a lot of kicks and a lot of bruises in it playing that football, so I think that was really, really good in part of his development.
This setup of Rising Ballers and all the kind of attention that they bring, if that doesn't work, if in there you can't cut it, if you can't show how good you can actually be, it's never going to work for you. So there was no choice for him. He was convinced he would make it. He was convinced there was a pathway for him. And it was not easy, traveling, going to training, going to games, going to this, going to that. But he worked out.
I know he was really eager to get a move. He was so keen to do it. He went into Bristol City and sadly got a no, which I saw it hit him quite hard. And then when the call for Sheffield United come, we were all really, really chuffed for him, really excited for him. He went and played a game, and I think there was something like 40 phone calls off the back of that one game, which was an insane thing. And then he went into Chelsea, didn't quite get a yes from Chelsea, so it's obviously signed for Sheffield United.
Iliman, we're down at Bramall Lane today. You signed your new deal. You must be absolutely delighted.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Worked hard to finally, get it done.
White's in the middle, yes! Play!
When I first went there as under-21s coach. That's when I first came across Iliman, so he was a young player, just had a loan at Hyde, and in a position where he was what's next in his career.
Mash, Lowy, Ozzy, Marshy. You're all going to be on here first.
The first team were playing a different system to what the 21s had been playing.
Neely, Brooksy and Illy in white. You're going to be playing team one.
So when we changed shape and sort of roles within the under-21s group to ask him to do the same thing as the first team, it was a big change for him, and he went and played as one of the front two. And I couldn't straight away see that he had a good brain as well, and everything he was pushed on to do, he wanted to do, he just wanted to do well. So yeah, when you've got real good technical ability, a work ethic like Iliman, and then a good brain, then you get the game, then you've got a great chance.
Sheffield United have made a change with the introduction of Iliman Ndiaye. It is his Premier League debut, the 21-year-old Frenchman.
Giving my debut was special for me because when he come to the academy, he's changed the way I'm playing completely. So I used to think I can take the ball from our goalkeeper and go to the other goalkeeper and score myself. And yeah, he just improved me so much.
And Iliman Ndiaye's hot streak shows no sign of ending.
I was just pleased that everyone could see it, because like I said, from working, we all knew what he was capable of. For him to then be doing it at first team level on that stage, I think it was probably our second game away at Fulham, who were top of the league at the time. He broke from his own half and went through and scored a goal.
Ndiaye going all the way! It's a work of art from the paintbrush of Iliman Ndiaye!
So it was just great for everyone else to see what we knew he could do.
The dream for him was always to play for Marseille one day as a pro. He dreamt of it so much. I think he would have picked Marseille ahead of anybody else. Marseille and Arsenal, Marseille and PSG, Marseille and Juventus. It would have always been Marseille, for obvious reasons.
We were fighting as hard as well. Certainly, we were fighting as hard as we possibly could to keep him there. We thought we'd got it. I think if he was listening to his head, he would have stayed. The pull on those heartstrings was just too strong for him.
Did I feel it was too early? Yeah, I did. I'm not sure he was ready for it. Not just because he was not good enough, but because Marseille is a different ball game, really. And as much as he thought he was ready for it, I think he probably underestimated how more difficult it is when it's your club and everybody knows it.
L'émotion qu'il avait, l'envie de réussir, etc., peut-être ça l'a un peu bridé, peut-être que... Et puis à l'OM, on pardonne pas. Il faut réussir, mais Et donc je pense que ça a été peut-être un peu difficile pour lui. Et il a eu qu'un an, finalement, et voilà. Et en un an, c'est peut-être un peu compliqué.
Voilà, et dès qu'il saute, cherche pas à placer ton ballon. Dès qu'il saute.
The biggest one was he didn't want to lay his dad down, and that's how it would have felt for him. Really, because Sheffield was great, but this felt different for them. For the Ndiaye family to be all together in France again, the club that they supported, that his dad loved so much, the dream was finally there. It was that big. And then you felt, and you flopped. And I think as disappointed as he was with the fact that it didn't work, in the dream move that he's always had, he knew there was more to come just somewhere else. And England was always going to be the fallback. After the difficult season he had in Marseille, if he'd been flying for Marseille with that kind of momentum and everybody looking at him and he could have his pick, maybe it would have been different. But for now, I think they were right to look at really those top 8. And I think for that, Everton was probably a good idea.
When he started to play a bit more with me on our side, I just understood, played the ball to him, and he can make everything. He can create. He can do anything with the ball.
Good ball to pick out Ndiaye, who hits the post and it goes in.
I still think what sets him apart is when he's in the middle of the pitch, when he's got bodies around him, the spaces are so tight. I think that's when you see the best in him, both with and without the ball.
He will create everything from a few yards. He needs just a few yards. If you've seen his skills, it's incredible. I don't like to play against players like this, like him.
Goodison Park is a place revitalised.
Most skillful player in Premier League at the moment.
Obviously the manager came in.
Too many old faces. Mine included.
What David Moyes did when he arrived was change that kind of mentality and the mindset. Okay, yeah, we will be well organized and well drilled, but there will also be more attacking intent in what we're going to try to do. And for that, Iliman is perfect. That's just the kind of player that you need.
He's been quite clear on what he wants to achieve. Clear on what he wants me to do, like my role in the team. And that gives you a big boost, when the manager comes in and says, well, do this and do that, and you want the manager to talk to you and make you feel confident that you can do the job for his team, and yeah, that gives you a massive boost, and you just try and give it to him back when you're on the pitch.
Ndiaye, line it up here and score! A goal worthy of the occasion.
I think he's on top of the history that he's made there by becoming the last player to score at Goodison and the first one to score at Hill Dickinson Stadium. I was actually there for that game.
And it's Evertonian ecstasy.
You could see how important that was for him, because I think he wants to be part of this kind of new chapter in the club's history. He wants the fans to love him.
It's special, obviously. You want to be in the history of, obviously, the football, especially the club that you play for. And for me, it was scoring that first goal, and it happened, and yeah, I was really happy.
He's a showman. At the end of the day, this is what he does. This is what a lot of those Everton fans would pay the tickets for, to go and watch people like him. And I think he realizes that, and he knows how much they love him. He knows how special player he can be for them and for the history of Everton Football Club.
Yeah, so I guess congratulations is in order for AFCON.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that was amazing.
You won the medal, I guess.
Yeah, I've got it. There you go. There it is.
How does that feel, having that?
It's amazing. Amazing feeling. It's a proud moment. I think it's something that you dream about when you're a kid, you know, representing your country and achieving big things with them. Well, no words can describe it, the feeling. Like, even until now, like, every time I speak about it, I get goosebumps. Like, you know, I get these shivering things, because man, it's just incredible, you know. This is what I play football for, you know, to win trophies. I've always had that attachment to Senegal. Obviously, my dad is Senegalese, but yeah, it's just since I was young, I've always had that feeling. Obviously, I just wanted to play for Senegal, and here I am today. You know, after when we won it, you know, seeing obviously the people that I know, my friends, family, you know, happy. It's just an amazing feeling, you know, them celebrating and everything like that.
I think to win an AFCON with Senegal is everything that he would have ever dreamed of as a little boy out on the streets kicking the ball. It is an incredible achievement, and I know he's so proud of that.
That's the greatest moment of his career, really, and I hope there's many more to come. But even if this stays the best thing that he's done and the biggest thing that he's won, he will never forget the feeling that he had.
Il y avait du monde? Maman. Il y avait beaucoup de spectateurs? Moi, puis aussi le goal, il était là. Moi, j'avais marqué avec le plus gauche. Oui?
Listen, all the experiences he's had, this is joy to him. This is where he wants to be. Do you know what I mean? This is the easy bit now for Iliman. I'm not saying the easy bit is performing against the top best in the league, but being on that stage is the easy bit for him. You know, the journey to get there has been the hard.
I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of what he's achieving, and for him to have a player work under me going to play in the Premier League is sensational. And to know that somebody's so humble and so nice as well, I think that makes it feel even better, because you know how hard he's worked.
I think probably before thinking about how incredible the whole journey has been, really, from all those knocks down to not knowing if he would ever find another club at some point, let alone making it as a pro, I think his first feeling was, this is what I want to do through my whole life.
Absolument, je suis très fier. Et le parcours d'Iliman, franchement, on va parler. Moi, personnellement, je suis triste parce qu'il a galéré. Il est parti au FCR où il a passé même pas un an, et il est parti au Sénégal, il est revenu en France, il est parti en Angleterre, il est allé à Marseille, il est allé en Angleterre. Donc son parcours n'a pas été facile, mais ça reflète le caractère du joueur, et aujourd'hui on peut dire de l'homme. C'est un homme qu'on n'a pas été facile pour lui, des galères, hein, mais il a réussi.
His journey is unorthodox compared to most. But within that, it's always been football. So wherever he's been with his family, it's been football. Obviously Marseille, Sheffield United, non-league over in England as well. His story is, like I said, really unique. But it's one of someone who's really determined to achieve.
Him and his dad probably looked back and thought, you see, this is where we started. Rouen Sapin, there, in the streets, in the council estate, and now look at where you are. You're one of the best players in Africa. You've just won your continental trophy. You're one of the best players in the Premier League. You're one of the best players, if not the best player for your Premier League team. And you're still so young. You know, it's not like this is the end of your career, really. So there's much more to come. And I think with all the hunger that they've always had, comes the drive and the ambition as well to go for more.